Tax Shelter. If you're new here, we simplify tax for individuals and small businesses. So if there's something you're interested in, then do subscribe to the channel, like if you're happy with the content, and also please share. So today I'm going to be covering how and when to lodge a complaint with SARS, right? So first of all, I have my notes here. I normally write notes so that I don't forget all the stuff that I want to say. I'm a registered tax practitioner. If you want to consult or maybe ask me anything, then I should have my details in the description box. If you are aggrieved by SARS or by a SARS employee, then you do have the option to actually file a complaint on e-filing. However, if you would like to see where you should go in order to file a complaint, I should be able to do, I will quickly show you how to file a complaint or where to go in order to file a complaint towards the end of this channel on e-filing. However, before we get to that, I would like to discuss when you should file a complaint with SARS. If you feel you've been treated unfairly by SARS, then you have every right to complain. Examples of these would be SARS not paying your refund, or SARS not paying your refund on time, SARS employee not assisting you when they're supposed to, or when they assist you but give you poor service, SARS not replying to your disputes within the stipulated time, or in some cases not replying at all. Believe you me, it does happen. These are just examples of when you can complain to SARS. I'm pretty sure there's many more out there, but also you need to remember there is what we call the Tax Ombud. The Tax Ombud is a body that you can report SARS to if you are unhappy with SARS. So normally, before you go to the Tax Ombud, you need to have complained to SARS first. It's like any other ombud in any industry. Before you go complain to the ombud of that industry, you need to have complained with the relevant company or financial services body that you were dealing with before you escalate your complaint to the ombud. So in other words, if you feel that whatever complaint you were trying to resolve wasn't resolved to your satisfaction, then you are more than welcome to then escalate it to the ombud, right? So same applies with the Tax Ombud. If you complain with SARS and then you find that you are unhappy with how they've resolved your complaint, or if you find that they have not resolved your complaint at all, or you feel that you were still treated unfairly and your complaint wasn't resolved to your satisfaction, then you can complain to the Tax Ombud. I do, however, want to mention that there are complaints that you can take to the Tax Ombud directly without complaining to SARS first. The type of complaints that you can go to the Tax Ombud to directly for are actually mentioned in the Tax Ombud website. I will try to put the link of the website down below, and I will also see if I can't maybe take a clip of some of those complaints, because every year the Tax Ombud will release sort of like findings or things that they found to be sort of like troublesome with SARS and how they plan to resolve them, or how they have discussed that with, or how they have come up with resolutions with SARS in order to try and resolve them. So there are complaints that the Tax Ombud decided can be taken straight to them without having gone through the SARS complaint system. I, however, do recommend that a person, before complaining to the Tax Ombud, that they should go through the SARS complaint system. And the reason for that is because normally the Tax Ombud would how do I put this, they normally they normally resolve, yes, they normally resolve your complaint quicker if there has been evidence that you have presented to show that you have in the past tried to resolve your complaint with SARS. I am now going to show you where to go on e-filing in order to file a complaint with SARS. In terms of the Tax Ombud, all the information that you need in order to write a complaint to them is on their website. There is a form that you download. It's pretty straightforward. However, I cannot emphasize it enough that whenever you are going to complain to the Tax Ombud, try to make sure that you have all your information regarding whatever grievance you have against SARS, and if possible, if you have complained with SARS before, then have all those case numbers for the previous complaints, as well as all the information that you have tried to use to resolve the complaint with SARS in the past. This helps the Tax Ombud to resolve your complaint very quickly. And by the way, just on the Tax Ombud, I have sent some complaints to the Tax Ombud in the past. They are very efficient and they're also very helpful. So if you do complain to the Tax Ombud, it does really help. In most cases, even if your complaint is not resolved quickly, the Tax Ombud, for whatever reason, does provide more pressure to SARS to actually deal with whatever problem that you had. It has worked in the past. So if you are sitting with a problem that you've been trying to have resolved with SARS, then do approach the Tax Ombud. They have in the past been very helpful when I have approached them. Okay, for the purposes of this video, I've logged into my own e-filing, and just to show you where to go in order to complain, you go to here. So you have all your menu on top of there on e-filing. Then you go to services, right? And then you go to your left hand menu. On there you will see complaints. So you will then go click complaints, and then you will click new complaints. And then one of the things that they ask you is whether it's a general complaint or a taxpayer related complaint. So for me, it's normally always a taxpayer related complaint, but because I'm a tax practitioner, I have a whole lot of taxpayers which I'm not going to click. I will click just so for the purpose of this video. And then I clicked myself, so immediately you will see there, and then I will then click next. Right now, this is what the complaint looks like. All the blue stuff, you don't need to really complete anything on there, and then the red stuff you obviously need to complete. So which means the under representative, I still need to complete information, and then under complaint details, I need to complete information. From here, guys, it's pretty straightforward, really, what you need to do. But I just wanted to show you where you go in order to complain. So further explanation of the complaint. What I do want to say though is that when you're explaining what you're complaining about, please make sure that you are as thorough as much as possible, so that SARS or whoever's looking at your complaint, they can at least understand what is going on. So put as much information as possible on there. So I always say to people, when you're phoning SARS or dealing with SARS, put down the name and the dates, as well as the name of the person you're dealing with, the date. But most importantly, even if you don't have the name and the date, always have the case number. Whenever you call SARS, you get a case number for the call. Whenever you do a complaint, whenever you do a verification, whatever it is, most dealings with SARS, they come with a case number. So always make sure that you write down those case numbers. I'm a little extra because I deal with a lot of people as a tax practitioner, so it's always nice to have the name as well as the date. And I must emphasize that that has been really helpful, especially when dealing with the Tax Ombud, because I mean, when you have those details, like you give the impression that you know what you're doing, and you've been trying to get help and whatnot not. And so yeah, that helps a lot. So just always make sure you have that. So now let's assume that I have completed all this information, so everything is blue. We're assuming that everything is blue. I'm obviously not going to do that right now because I have no complaint and I don't need to complete any of that. So then you go up here and then okay, fine, say for instance, for whatever reason you can't finish your complaint, you can save it and get back to it later. If you have saved your complaint, then you'll find it here under saved complaints. But if you are done, you can say submit. After you submitted your complaint, you can print it first, or you can submit it first and then print it later. It really does not matter. Now I'm gonna go to complaints history. You will see I have done some complaints. So SARS either rejects or your complaint gets finalized. So in my situation here, how the complaint got rejected is, by the time the person who was responding to the complaint responded to the complaint, what I was complaining about had already been resolved. So that's why they rejected the complaint. So I was complaining for one thing here. All three complaints, it was the same thing. Sometimes I do that. I bombard SARS with complaints so that because sometimes we'll find that it's not something that I encourage anyone to do it, but then you'll find that sometimes it really just depends on where your complaint or your query lands. Sometimes you get someone that really does want to help and they help, and sometimes you just get people who just don't care, who are lazy, who just wanna, I don't know, be done with something. So we'll see here. That's what happened. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that yeah, basically that's what's up. So that's all for complaints then, guys. And I said I wouldn't cover the Ombud one, but let's just go to the Ombud website actually. So the Tax Ombud's website right there, and then you will see here the website is quite user-friendly in my opinion, and then they tell you how to lodge a complaint, the process to lodge a complaint, and your rights and whatnot. And then we have here, you see here where it says systematic issues. This is where you'll get what I was talking about. I don't know why the link is, yes, okay, so there it is, systematic issues. So what are systematic issues? So they explain here and how SARS is investigated them and whatnot. So they have different reports from 2017 to 2020 and whatnot. So it's these systematic issues that you can actually go straight to the Tax Ombud about. So, but you have to come and read, guys. Come and read and see what they're saying and whatnot. And then you can also just familiarize yourself with the Tax Ombud. They're very helpful. I've dealt with them in the past, and yeah. What else can I just want to see. Oh yes, another nice thing about the Ombud is that they have different languages here that you can simplified guide is in different language of how you can complain, which is nice. I thought this was very nice. So I think all the 11, okay, there's 12 now official languages, which is being sign language being one of them, but now before it was 11, so all of them are here, which is nice. And then you have the complaints form in your own language. I've never done a complaints form in any other language besides English, so that would be interesting. So you have the complaints form and you have the power of attorney. In situations whereby you're complaining on behalf of someone, you might need a power of attorney. So that's that here, guys. I'm done with this video. If you liked it and if it helped you in any way, then I'd appreciate it if you can click like and subscribe and perhaps even share it with your friends and family. Thank you so much for watching. Okay.